Facebook. So, okay. Hello, Facebook, or hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook. So I had technical difficulty a moment ago, and I'm back now. So if you came the first time, please come back. And on Instagram, if you make a comment, I'll try to keep up with comments. And if you have a question, feel free. And, I would love to hear your questions. So if you don't know me, my name is Bill Patton, and I'm the author of Play Sports Right Your Way. And really what it is, it's about helping kids to take ownership of their sports experience. It's funny, yesterday, I guess, the United States men's soccer team was eliminated from World Cup. And I see one of the major problems there is that it seems like the men on our team don't take full ownership of the full experience of going out there and playing for the country. It's just a very interesting thing. They're not playing hard enough is one of the comments that I heard that I thought was pretty insightful. So anyway, but let's talk about this issue of players taking ownership of the process. Now, it's really the coach's job to kind of set the tone for this, because these poor defenseless kids enter into a situation, and if there isn't anyone setting this tone of collaboration and empowerment for them, then it's not going to happen. All right. So first off, it's the coach's job to do it, and then where you get parent buy-in, then things go a lot easier. And when not, then we need to educate our parents better. So one thing I started doing a couple of years ago, and it's been really good, is I set the tone on the first lesson for how all of this is going to go. You've heard talks, I'm sure, in the past about the player, coach, parent relationship and whatnot. And it's a good thing, and people sort of over time develop that. But I think an opportunity is missed when we don't do something in the first lesson. So we don't want to lose an opportunity to begin building that great relationship from the very beginning, the very first moment. So generally in a private lesson situation, I've got the kid by myself there with the parent probably looking on, because, not too many parents are going to go away while their kid has their first lesson. But that doesn't happen very often with me. But what I do is I ask the player this. I say, I go, hey, there's parents, players, and coaches. Who's the decision maker? And just about all the time, probably about 95% of the time, the player says that it's either the parents or the coaches who are the decision makers. And then I say, no, it's not the coach, and no, it's not the parent. And then they kind of come to this realization, I'm the decision maker. And then I go, yeah, that's right. You are the decision maker, because you're the one, and so then I ask them, okay, why? Why is it important for you to be the decision maker? And usually they realize right away that it's because they're the one playing the game, and they're going to be the one who makes decisions as play is made. And we want to foster that early on. So they're the decision maker. They decide how they're going to play. They decide their commitment level. They decide all of that. We want to help them make good choices. So then I asked them, okay, well, who's this expert consultant? And with almost no hesitation, they say, that's you. And I go, yeah, that's right. That was quick. All right, thank you. Some kids hesitate, though. So the kids who are more hesitant to accept the decision maker thing also are hesitant to name who the expert is. It's kind of interesting. And then I asked them, who gives final approval? And some kids say, me. And I say, no. And they say, you. And I go, no. And I go, my parents. Right. So that's a pretty sizable chunk of kids that do that. They have by now have completely forgot about their parents, which could be okay. Um, and and then, you know, most kids though understand, okay, it's going to be the parents, and then we go, okay, well, why is that? And they're kind of like not really wanting to say. So I say it, you know, because hey, your parents are paying for this, and if they don't like what's happening between you and I, then it's over. Simple as that. It will not last. So now a funny thing happens, because at the end of the, you know, a lot of times the parent is overhearing this whole conversation. Sometimes they aren't. Um, so sometimes the parents, they're listening into the whole thing, loving it or curious about it or hating it. But after the lesson, then we do a recap, and I get the parents over, and I say, hey, you know, you noticed that conversation right there between you know, your child and I, and what we decided was that your son or daughter is the decision maker, and the range of uh, the range of acceptance with parents ranges from yes, of course, right, because they're the player, so yeah, you know, that's what they do. They're supposed to do their thing. So that's the most common response. And then the other one is, are you sure about that? Are you sure that my 7-year-old is a decision maker? 8-year-old, my 9-year-old, you know, the one who spills their milk and you know, forgets their jacket at school, they're a decision maker. So, and I go, yeah, they are. And we're going to foster that. I mean, we're not going to give them a whole lot of big decisions to make at first, but you know, we're going to start trusting them with more and more decisions, and they're going to have to think their way through some stuff. And then finally, then so then we say, all right, well, you know, no, and then finally, one parent, you know, kind of, you know, just gives me this look like, no, my child will not be a decision maker, because I, the parent, will be the one deciding. And they don't say it out loud. They never say it out loud, but you can see it on their face, because that particular parent has it in their mind that they're in control of everything. So then we move on to the next thing. We said, hey, we decided I'm the expert consultant. And it's the same thing, you know, of course, that's what we're paying for you for. Or, did our child make a good decision to grant you full expert status? And then the concerned scowl, oh no, you aren't. I'm the parent. I'm the expert on everything for my kid. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be fired by that family, you know, because I've yet to see them come for a second lesson when I'm getting that scowl from those parents on that. And it's good. So, hey, goodbye. I mean, we're obviously not going to work well together. So, so see you later. And then finally, then we go, okay, we also decided that you give final approval because, hey, you're the one paying the bills, and you know, you and I will discuss how we think it's going with the child here, and we will discuss good decisions and not such great decisions, and because you're going to have to fail at some decision making in order to learn how to succeed at it, and that's just the way it goes. So part of what's so harmful to a lot of kids these days is they're not allowed to fail. Everything, you know, we have them so insulated from real, honest to goodness adversity and thinking hard that, you know, we want to spoon feed them all the answers, drill a little hole in their head and pour the info into their head, you know, and then they'll be our little robots that we control. No, it's not going to work. It's, you know, when you think about the stories of great athletes, you know, they decided early on that they wanted to be a great athlete, and then they made it happen. So it's that ownership that we want to foster in these young athletes. So, so anyway, that has been such a great thing for developing that relationship, because then from that point on, then the parameters are set. We have these different roles. We're going to communicate along those lines. And there are exceptions, and there are ways that it's different a little bit, you know, but it sets it up. It makes it pretty finite, and everybody knows their role. And, you know, we develop it from there. So, now to shift gears, so that's really like a one-on-one thing, right? But even on a team, I mean, a lot of times coaches and teams, really don't see the parents much, but the parents are talking to the kids at home. So a little bit different there. Now, what I've done there is I've asked teams in the past, hey, raise your hand if your parent is on this team, and then none of the hands go up. And I'm like, that's right. Your parents are not on this team, right? So you are part of the team, and we want to get everybody together and be unified in that way. Okay. So, and then I asked them, hey, how many of you would like your parent to criticize you to me the first time we meet? And I'm like, here, show me your hands. And then none of them say yes on that. So I'm like, okay, good. In fact, here's what I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear any of your parents' criticism of you at all, really. I don't mind them telling me some things that they see, but really don't want them criticizing at all. And then, that's a pretty major part of establishing that team thing right there. And then, the other thing I do is I say, look, I also promise not to criticize you to your parents. So everything we do here is positive. It's together. It's for the good of each other. And, if your parents try to pump me for information, I'm only going to shed you in the best possible light and give them hope that you're going to grow up to be, a highly successful young person as you go launch into the world. So, it's really important to set this tone early on. And then once that happens, then it acts as protection for you moving forward. For the most part, people still have a way of like trying to take you out. But anyway, so this comes from Play Sports Right Your Way, which is on Amazon. And I want to challenge you to pick one up, because if you get one of these little paperbacks and you read through that, I think you're going to get a lot of great ideas for how to empower your players to take ownership of their sports experience. And when they do that, then the work isn't as hard. And if you can share that book with parents, I've pretty much gotten 100% positive feedback from kids and from parents who've read it, and they like it. It's very challenging for them to think this stuff through. And you can save yourself a lot of energy dealing with parents if you just get one of these little paperbacks and give it out, send it out to, it's a quick read. I mean, an adult can read that book in probably under 45 minutes, I'm pretty sure. Kid, a little bit longer. Chapters are little bite-sized pieces. So Play Sports Right Your Way on Amazon. And I hope that you'll just go ahead and just pick that up right now. Just go on Amazon right now and pick that up. And then once you read it, please review it. Those reviews really help me. So, here you are. Here I am. I want to give you a bunch of free stuff like this, just, talking to you right now. And then, if you like it, go get a book. All right. Thank you for listening, and have a great day. So now I'm going to end Instagram. Boop. And we're going to end